Hey boys and girls, I'm going to be running a little bit late on this one. I have yet to make the name cards and get everything together. I ended up having a little bit of a crisis that I had to attend, and everything's fine, everything's okay. It's just that I fell a little bit behind on the day. And so we could chit chat for a little while before I get going on my stream here. I'm going to be a little more abbreviated about making the name cards than usual. I think I'm just going to kind of scribble initials on there so we know who is who. Because 50 name cards can actually take a little bit of time to put together. I was all prepared for the last one and thought I had plenty of time between that one and this one to get everything together. But evidently, things happen. Things get in the way. That's why I'm taking the next couple of weeks off. I'm trying to get caught up on all the mail, trying to get all the mail out of here, and try to get myself ahead a little bit on videos and other things that I want to do that will add to the overall value of my community base. The fact that I want to be an educator, I want to be a dealer, I want to be everybody's penny dealer and everybody's penny educator. I want everybody to know everything they can so that they can be empowered to help themselves collect coins the right way. Hello, Adam. Jeremy, it may be that I created a label for one class for like, I don't know, for like a small flat rate box. And then I had to create a label for a medium flat rate box. So I canceled one label and used a different one. I will look here in just a moment and let you know what I indeed did send. I would like for you to get the label so I can read the last few numbers of the tracking number off to you so that we can get together on what that is to make sure that we've got it together. And if I sent you more than one package, I'll be able to tell you. I honestly am overworked to a point where I can't really tell by looking at your name. I can't remember exactly what you had and exactly what I put in your box. Of course, I know who all my customers are. It's just that I've got so many customers that order very similar things that it's very difficult for me to piece them apart from one another. So what's going on, Stephen Dallas? You're just here for a minute? Well, I appreciate your minute just as much as I'd appreciate your hour or any other amount of time that you can spend with us. Anyone and everyone, always welcome to come watch. Don't have to participate. That's not what this is about. This is about the education, not necessarily about what money you spend or don't spend or whatever. All right, we got our flip inserts done. That's what I've been working on here. So I got that part finished. Now I have to make name cards. And let me bring up my list of people for this reveal. So reveal number 43. And reveal number 43 is a 1956D bank wrapped roll of Lincoln cents. I hope this one has some of the good major stuff in it, because I tell you what, finding that good major stuff is really difficult to do, but when you do, wow, what a palooza. It's like a circus when you find that good stuff. I love a good circus. It's like a massive pizza party. Okay. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to write initials down on these cards because I'm way behind on time here. And I've got all evening, but I don't want to take up your time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the names on the cards in short form. Like for instance, generally I put Adam C. I'm just going to put AC for Adam Chambers. And he has 1, 2, 3 spots. And then Scent Hoarder has 3 spots. And then Chuck Patillo because that's also my first name, it's easy for me to write quickly. Coin Dragon CDR James Worley has 3 spots in here. And then Jim Fletcher he has 3 spots. There are newer people. I don't know their names as well. So Joe McBride has 3 spots. Levels of Madness has 3 spots. Majestic has 2. We got a lot of people in on this roll. Midnight has 3. Paul Hampton has 3. PJ has 3. Raymond Lungi has 2. Robert Adams has 3. Silver Nitrate has 3. People are going to know him as Agno. Steve Elliott has 3. And then Taco John has 3. And then Wild Bill has 1. And that's because we ran out of spots. We only have 1 left. Okay. So now that that part is done, I'll bring my... Hey, there we are. Oh, let's see. Hello, Bill Betts. Jim Fletcher eating pizza at the big pizza party. Let's see, Jeremy. I can see your number. Hang on just a moment and let me get back to where I was on this. Sent everything in 1 box, Jeremy. Get ready to write a few numbers down. Should have 1516, 1575, and 1619 all in the same box. And I believe it was a medium flat rate box. And probably what I had done was I had already gotten a small flat rate box or a first class label made for you earlier in the month, and then realized that was a mistake and replaced the label. That's likely what I did. But I sent it all in 1 box. Let's see. Adam Chambers, good evening. Joe McBride, Steve Elliott, Coin Junkie, Jim Fletcher, Hurl Stormer, Todd Carmen, Cuds R Us. Looks like just about everybody's here. We got 22 people in right now. We got 14 likes. We don't have... Yeah, I only sent the 1 box, Jeremy, I'm pretty sure. There we go, Penny Parent. There she is. I was wondering where you were. Okay, so let me move my keyboard, get it out of the way. And let me move in my handy dandy tray. There are those. We will make 1 for the wrapper, even though it's not specified by bank. It's just an old wrapper. There it is right there. Can't really see it very well. That's for the wrapper. There's 2 Christmas cards. Hang on just a second. I'm going to do 7 of them. Again. There we go. 7 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's all of our giveaways. There's our 56D roll. And I have a 1958D roll right here. Now this 1958D roll is Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, Chicago, Illinois. And it has a busted out end, but that busted out end was due to dropping the roll or the way it was stored. There's never been a coin out of this roll. So this is a mint fresh roll, or a bank fresh roll anyway. And what we're going to do with it right now, if I could, here we go. We're going to get a pink sticky note, and I'm going to write Xmas on it. And that's going to be the roll that we are going to open in a future show, for which I am currently giving away spots. There we go. There's our Xmas roll. Oops. It's probably not going to show up very well, but here we go. We'll do this. There we go. Now we have our Xmas roll. Christmas. Christmas. Ding dong. Christmas. Okay. All right, boys and girls. I'm finally ready to go. 21 minutes late. Sorry about all that. Okay, so we're going to get everybody's name in there. We got all 50 spots taken up. Hope it's 50 spots. And then we got our giveaways, our wrapper plus our Christmas spots. Let's shake it up. I'm going to check real quick here. I'm going to go down and look real quick and see that we do definitely have 50 spots. Where is it here? 1956D. Run count, please. 50 spots. We do have 50 spots sold in this roll. So, I get scooted into position here. And, man, I'm excited about getting in on this one. Okay, let me get this picked apart here. I'm getting better at this. My thumbnails are getting stronger. Okay, roll comes up over the coins. Oops, had the end coin there shoot off. Is that the end? I think it is. Wasn't as careful as I could have been, and the end coin shot off. All right, we do have what appears to be a nice fresh roll. 1956 Lincoln cents. They don't appear to be spotted or otherwise damaged in any way. And so let's get started. Oh, wait a minute. Let me bring my chat out so I can see you guys. And bring it over here so I don't have to go outside the box. There we go. They look like I've been digging coal. No, actually, that's the camera itself. It's just oddly revealing. My hands are very clean. Hands are very clean. That's the problem with that camera I've got. I am going to buy a new camera. I swear I am, folks. I promise. Okay, so let me get this. Move slightly out of the way right there. Can everybody still hear me okay? So we're going to go ahead and draw for coin number one. Coin number one, well, that's a Christmas giveaway. I can't do that yet. I wait till I actually get a name. Midnight. Midnight Silver Run gets the first coin in the roll. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what's on here. Okay. Not seeing anything on the mint mark. No doubled eyelid. This is actually a nice clean coin for a roll ender. It doesn't have any toning on it. There's some interesting concentric die scratches going on there. They look like the lines on that little carved in record thing that they sent out to space to see if anybody found it. The one with that Da Vinci drawing of the human body on it. It's kind of cool. I don't know why that was the very first thing I thought of when I saw that. Okay, I don't see anything on the obverse. And on the reverse, we're going to be looking for any minor double dies or anything to that effect. Oh, well, this is the side that was stuck out. Obviously. Okay. So that one goes to Midnight. That's coin number one in the roll, and we have a normal coin. Keep digging and see what we can find. Coin number two. Steve Elliott, S.E. Steve Elliott. What do we find for Mr. Elliott? There are so many different little things to look for on the 1956 D. I take my time with these coins until I start learning my dies and know exactly what I'm looking at. This is another one of the same die. You can see the same die scratches. So that means the reverse, although a little cleaner than the other coin, should still have all the same die scratches on it. Because these two coins were minted from the same die pair. Okay, Steve Elliott gets that second coin. Now for the third coin. Oh, Steve Elliott gets the wrapper. How about that? There's the wrapper. I'm going to put Steve Elliott on here. I just wrote on my hand in permanent marker, so you'll get a kick out of that. There we go, Steve Elliott there. Let's see what comes up next. Got two names in one. Mr. Worley. Mr. Worley gets the next coin in the roll. Let's see what we have. Most of your double dies on 1956, I believe the 1956 obverse double dies, are going to be found in Liberty, and they're going to be double eyelids. The by far the most interesting part of 1956 D Lincoln Cents is generally going to be the mint mark area. Of course, that's where we're looking right now for anything of good clue, and this coin just doesn't have it. Okay, we pull out a normal coin for coin number 3. That's for Mr. Worley. Got coin number 4 will go to Paul Hampton. What do we have on coin number 4? Still got a little bit of the circular die scratch thing going on, but they're different. It's not the same die scratches. So it must be a thing for the dies of that day. Got a die crack on the forehead. Right on the brow line. Don't have a whole lot near the date to go by though. We do have a die scratch going southeast out of the chin. So we start to establish what our different dies are in the roll. We know this one now. Let's check the reverse and see if there's anything on the reverse of this coin. Okay, nothing there. Let me move on. Coin number 4 is for Paul Hampton. And coin number 5. Coin Dragon. Coin Dragon. Let's see. Not seeing anything there. Maybe I should look over there first. Okay, this is the 5th coin in the roll and the 3rd coin of that same die pair. We have a very worn out reverse die. A lot of northwest to southeast die scratches running around throughout the reverse. We have a connector from the upper C to the lower E of sent. So we have that connector there. We can look for it on the next one and make sure that we've got the same die over and over again. Kind of do that to make sure that those scratches weren't on the master die or on the hub. That is kind of rare to have that. Oops, I gotta get his in there. And Steve Elliott gets the next coin. Next coin for Steve Elliott. Let's see what we pick up out of here. Another one with the die scratches. Got the whole concentric die scratch thing working on this. So let's flip it over and see if we've got that connector from the C to the E. And we do. So it's the same die again. 6 coins into the roll, and we have 4 of the same die. Maybe this die will waste itself out early in the roll so we can get something good, because we already know that this is an original roll with that many coins from the same die. Thanks, Raymond. Haha, looky there. We've got a Christmas card for Steve Elliott. Didn't he just win? He won the wrapper, and now he's getting a Christmas card too. There is a Christmas card for Steve Elliott. Let's do it that way. No, gotta pile them up here. There we go. Christmas card for Steve Elliott. And here goes Coin Dragon. Coin Dragon gets the next coin in the roll. So I'm seeing what appears could be a really minor split lower serif on this. Nothing more than that. Nice old long die scratch running south out of the Y of Liberty. We have a die crack in the hair running across the hair. What am I going to use as my primary marker on the obverse, though? I guess those north and south die scratches over by the Y in Liberty is going to be the best thing for us to use. Because I don't really see much of anything around the date. Unless that thing coming up out of the 6 is actually a die scratch. It's kind of hard to tell, though. See if it makes a shadow. Yeah, not enough to use it. Not really sure what that is. Do have a die scratch running north out of the 1. Oh, hello. We got a piece of the die about to fall out. Right on the coat next to the shoulder here. That would be our marker for this die. That's what it actually isn't anything other than this very interesting die break. But that's cool as it stands. Yep. Okay, let's take a look at the reverse real quick and see if there's anything on the reverse we need to be paying attention to. And I'm not seeing it. So we got nothing on the reverse. So we got an interesting die break in the coat. One for Coin Dragon. And that's coin number 7. Let's take a look at coin number 8. See what we get out of coin number 8. Oh, there's a Christmas card for Coin Dragon. Coin Dragon gets the next Christmas card. Alright, next in line is Midnight Silver Run. Midnight Silver Run, let's see what you got. That is a minor RPM. It's minor lower split serif RPM. It's not going to be a listable one though. And this is one with die scratches, but it's not the same die scratches. We have a connector for the lower RT of Liberty. Let's see, we got one right above the one of the date from the coat northwest, or northeast, I'm sorry. One from the coat northeast. So we have a rather high and centered mint mark with a die scratch running northeast out of the coat. That's going to be our marker for this die. And the reverse shows that we have a normal coin. To be a normal coin with no doubling. And that's for Midnight Silver Run. We do have a couple of new watchers. If you guys want to bid in the auctions that we have, they're going to be coming up Tuesday nights beginning the 20th of January. Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, beginning the 20th of January. Until then, we've got a couple of special shows, but we don't have any more auctions coming up. There's Robert Adams here. If you want to try to get involved, oh, there's a nice RPM. That's actually a decent RPM there. Which is, let's see what markers we have here, if we have any. It's a nice little double split serif RPM right there. We'll zoom in on that and take a closer look at it. One of these days I'll learn which direction to go with my scope wheel so I get it right the first time. You can see that there's a little bit of separation there at the bottom of the mint mark. And you can see, well, if you look in the reflection off the 9 on the top of the mint mark, you can see the split on the top right away. You've got two different D's up there punched almost directly on top of one another. And then the bottom, you can still see them just like that. And then the bottom, if I can get this turned on around so that the light shines into it a little bit better. Hang on, hang on. I'm losing it. There we go. Control. There it is. We have a nice little double split serif. RPM. This is a D over D tilted. Penny Parent. If you've got the, you should have the same thing I've got. I'm thinking you've got the same one I've got. If you've got the same one I've got, this is how close I am. Oops, hang on. There we go. This is how close I am to the coin. So it's like maybe a 1/4 inch off the coin. And so when you focus on the coin a little further away, you just keep turning the wheel so it goes down, 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 down. And it will focus again when it gets really blown up. So the Tuesday night auctions coming up next month will have a lot of nice stuff. Mostly Lincoln cents, but I throw other things in here and there. Congratulations to Robert Adams for getting the first nice RPM out of the roll. Who comes up next? Majestic will come up next. And Majestic nothing on the mint mark. These roll reveals are sold generally during the auction. But because we're not having an auction this coming week, we're going to have a roll reveal sale tomorrow. These things are scarce and difficult to get into because when we do roll reveals, those things sell out inside of 10 or 15 seconds. I'll explain to you what a roll reveal is. Sell all 50 coins in the roll prior to the show. When the show comes on, I opened the original bank wrapped roll right in front of you so you can tell that I've not molested it, messed with it, stuck coins in, pulled coins out, or anything else. And then what I do is I go through every single coin and discuss what I see on every single coin in the roll after I draw a name for who gets that coin. The name comes from a bag filled with names that were the people who purchased the spots in the roll. This particular roll, let's see, it's the 1956 Denver roll, and the spots for this were $2.25 a coin, so $2.25 per coin. So for $2.25, you hit a chance in an original bank wrapped roll of running into who knows what wonderful things could come out. Double dice, repunchment marks. I always go through dates for which we have a good chance of finding something good. Joe McBride. Is this another one of the same RPM? I think it may be. What did I pick as a marker on that? I can't remember now. I see this thing inside the 9, but that's common. Oh, my scope went out on me. There we go. Okay, with this, I have a heavy die scratch above the TY of Liberty. I'm going to have to go back over to the other coin and take a look at it. I've got a die crack in the head and the upper hair. We've got another die crack running across the bottom of the coat. And through the VDB. So let me take a look at this one. Okay, we've got that, and we've got that. These are the same die. There's your die scratch above the TY of Liberty. So that's a very quick way of being able to tell for sure that you have two coins from the same die. You just compare the markers between the two. And so we have the exact same markers on this one. We've got that die crack there. We've got this die crack running through the VDB on the truncation of the shoulder. And we also have this die scratch, this little angled die scratch up above the TY of Liberty. So Joe McBride will get this coin, and it will be the next example of that same double die. I'm going to flip it over and take a quick look at the reverse to see if we have any errors or anything else that really needs to be discussed, talked about, and or explained. I don't see anything but a normal coin on this side. Do have a little bit of a polishing issue from a clash. You can see the clash on the inside of that N. That's part of Lincoln's throat, his inner throat area down underneath his beard. But it was almost completely polished away, and in polishing it away, they also almost polished away some of the letters on the coin, on the die. And you can see how some of the letters are getting really thin and really shallow. Tomorrow night, Mr. Vines, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to do a reveal sale. We're not going to be having an auction Tuesday like we normally would. So instead, we're going to do a reveal sale so we can get more reveals going, because I do have time to do reveals on occasion through the next 2 weeks. We're going to do 2 weeks worth of reveals, which means I'm going to do probably 8 rolls. Levels of Madness gets the next coin. I'm probably going to be opening 8 rolls over the next 2 weeks. And for the people who have had trouble getting in before, you shouldn't have any trouble getting in this time. Got a nice little clash mark out in front of the 1. It's a really nice clash mark. But we have no RPM, and we have no double die on the obverse. We got a huge die gouge above the G of God. Let's see what else we can find here. Well, the northeast die scratches and the nice clash mark should be enough for us to use that. But we also have some nice die scratches around the Y of Liberty. So this is yet another die that we have not seen, or that I don't remember having seen before. And this is coin number 12 in the roll. That's for Levels of Madness. I am having a good time. I always have a good time doing this. Ray, are you still around? I know Ray was around a little bit earlier. Well, here's one of his coins right here. Ray Longy. He got 2 in this roll. Let me focus in a little bit better here. It doesn't look like we found anything on the mint mark on this particular coin. Aha. That's why. We already know this die. This die means that we should have a connector from the upper C to the lower E in cent on the reverse. And it's going to be a repeat of a die that we have seen probably 7 or 8 times at least. Seems to be a very common die in this roll. There we go. So let's look around and see if we have any particular errors to discuss. Errors in die varieties are completely different from one another. Die varieties exist on the die from the time the die is placed into use. Basically, die varieties are created on the die at the time the die is created. Errors generally exist during the striking process or during the planchet making process. So striking errors like broad struck error, partial collar strike, things like that, those are striking errors that have to do specifically with the press itself and how the press is operating. Then you have planchet errors such as wrong planchet, centered planchet, tapered planchet, other things like that that have to do with the metal strip and how the blanking press actually made the planchets. So you have incomplete planchet, which is a clip. You have a... Oh, by the way, here's Jim Fletcher. Drum roll, please. Oh, no, we got another one of those. This is like 9 or 10 of these that we've had now, of this particular die. So planchet errors come along when you actually have issues with the blanking press or issues with the roll of metal itself that the blanks come out of. Let's check for that marker. It's right there. So we do have the same die again. Let's see if there's any errors on here to discuss. So that's planchet errors. And then you have die errors. Die errors happen to the die while it's striking coins, such as clashes, misaligned die clashes, cuds, other things like that are errors that occur on the die as the die is making coins. The difference between a die error specifically and a die variety is that a die variety exists on the die prior to it ever making a coin. Die errors happen while the die is actually in use. And here's one for PJ. Let's see what we got for PJ Curtis. I do see a repunchment mark. I do believe I see one that's going to have a die scratch above the TY of Liberty, as this one does. It's a little covered up by a scratch on the coin, but there is that die scratch above the TY of Liberty. We should also have a die scratch or die crack running across the coat, and we do. Nice one above the VDB. So this is another example of the RPM that we've been pulling out of this roll. This is the third example of this RPM that we've pulled out of this roll. There's the die crack in the hair. There's also a die crack above the ear that I hadn't noticed before. It appears to be a die crack running across the forehead into and above the ear. Paul has joined us from the frozen tundra. Was it like 4:30 in the afternoon, 4:50 in the afternoon there? Heck, it's almost bedtime here. So PJ Curtis gets gets an RPM. Not another one, because we got 3 RPMs so far. They're all the same one. One of them's for Robert Adams, one's for Joe McBride, and one's for PJ Curtis. Let's see what we draw for the next name, Taco John. Taco John comes up next. Let's see what he has. Well, it is an RPM. And a rather minor split lower serif. It appears to have a split upper serif. I don't think it's the same die, and it's not. This is the same die as the second coin we pulled out of the roll. And I think it's the same die as the second one we pulled out of the roll. Let's just stick with this idea that we've got some die scratches around the Y of Liberty, and we've got north-south die scratches through the first half of the date. And we will hold this off to the side. You can see the doubled mint mark right there. You can see the upper serif and the lower serif are both split. It's not the same die that we've already been pulling. This is a different die. Oh, look at that. That's a, what is that? Looks like a really nice marker, if I can ever get it dialed in here. Sometimes the direction of your lighting makes a huge difference as to whether something is actually visible. So let me do it like that and then turn the light way down. That is almost like a half moon shaped die gouge. Now right down there behind the shoulder. So we'll use that as our primary marker beyond these die scratches next to the Y, north-south die scratches in the date and from the chin. And we have a double split serif RPM, lower and upper. It's kind of minor, but this one will go to Taco John. Oh, let's take a look at the reverse real quick. Don't ever discount the reverses on your coins regardless. Even if you don't expect and there's not a single double die listed for the reverse on any series that you happen to be going through, always look at the reverse anyway. Because you never know when you're going to run into something good. And it only takes a little bit more time, and it's free. They're not going to charge you anything for looking at the backside. So, get her done. Alright, so I'm going to stick this one off to the side because I think Taco John might have a little minor repunch mint mark here. And I'll move on to the next coin. Hello, Steve. Happy holidays to yourself. Robert Adams. Robert Adams will pick up. Appears that we have an RPM here. It appears that we have the same one again that he has already. Maybe. Nope. There is a die scratch or die crack running across the coat on this one, but the die scratch above the TY is not there. That's not the same one. Let me zoom in on this and make sure that we even have an RPM because I'm a little doubtful as to whether this one's going to be a listable RPM, but we'll see. Well, we do have a double split serif RPM here. Split upper and lower, and it's a new die. It's a different die from the other ones we've seen. If I can ever get it focused just right. I'm focused on the field, but not the letter. Need to get this focused. There we go. Right on the letter. Just like that. So you can see here that you have a split in the lower serif, and you have a split in the upper serif. And this one's just a difference. No, I don't eyeball these for rotated dies. I personally have never really given a whole lot of thought to rotated dies. I'm sure I've been through a number of them without realizing it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. This is definitely a different die. This one has a doubled eyelid right there. There you go. You can see it way up there. If I put it at the very top, you can see it because the light's not shining directly on it. Let me dim my lights down and see if I can get a better look at it. There we go. Now let me zoom in on it. There we go. Nice little doubled eyelid. Bring a little more light into the subject. Very nice. Now you know that rotated dies less than 45 degrees are really kind of normal. So if you get them rotated less than 45 degrees, generally not very well accepted by the error community as being an error. I guess I had it at the best angle. It's probably about the best angle there is for this. Now let me zoom back out because you know what you're looking at. It's that raised area just below the eyelid. Now you can see it there just as well as you could before now because it's been pointed out. And we also still have the RPM right there. So we have northwest to southeast die scratches running through the date. That should give us a good idea that this is the die it is. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, see the die scratches below Lincoln near the rim? I call those swirl in die scratches. They're like a pinwheel. And it was because the machine that they were using to polish the dies was a rotating machine, and they were going along the edge, and if you go along the edge you get swirl in marks. And so this is a swirl in die scratch pattern. So we have a swirl in die scratch pattern below the truncation of the bust. We have a minor double split serif RPM, and we have the doubled eyelid. So this is definitely a die that I've not seen yet today. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. Turn my light back up so we can see what's going on. Look for anything on the reverse to take note of. And I see nothing Dr. Jones. I see nothing Dr. Jones. So let me get all my Christmas cards out of the way over here. There we go. All right. That's coin number 17 for Robert Adams, and he got himself another RPM out of the roll, and a different one this time. So he's got 2 different RPMs out of this roll so far. And we'll draw for the next coin. That'd be coin number 18. Oh, the reverse? Dun, dun, dun. Did we not look at the reverse on this one? I thought we looked at the reverse on this one. I've already got it in plastic, which is why it doesn't quite look the same. Still a nice red coin. Nothing on the reverse. I did look at the reverse. Okay. And just for the sake of doing so, I'm going to test this one real quick. You hold it like this with the sides of the coin directly opposite one another. And you flip the coin over and you look and see if it's still aligned. And if it's still aligned, you don't have a rotated reverse. And PJ Curtis will get coin number 18. Let's take a look at coin number 18 and see what's on it. Well, it looks like we have a normal coin. It's a little stain or something below the L. It's not a bar L. An interesting pattern of die scratches. It looks very similar to the last coin I looked at because it had northwest to southeast die scratches going through the date and mint mark area. It's also got the swirl die scratches, but it is not an RPM or a doubled eyelid. Or is it? No. Not a doubled eyelid, not an RPM. Okay. So we got nothing going on there. Turn the light back up so we can see. And the reverse. We have, I'm sorry, 3 o'clock on the reverse struck through. Would that be on the previous coin? Let me get it back out, because I don't think you could have seen this when I made a comment in that amount of time. Midnight silver run, so far I haven't seen anything that would bring any profit at grading, simply because a lot of people have graded 1956 D Lincolns looking for that elusive 67 grade and not made it. So there's a ton of 66s out there. Given that there's a ton of 66s out there, let's see, let me find coin 17 and look at the reverse and see. I'm not seeing any struck through at the 3 o'clock position. I'm seeing that we've got die chips on the T with a die crack, and that's about it. On the rim, no, there's no struck through on the rim. No, I don't see anything. Well, this isn't at 3 o'clock, but this is a ding on the rim. No struck through. All right. Wait, PJ gets coin number 18. Now let me get coin number 19 out. See who gets that one. Mr. Patillo, Chuck P. And this coin is going to be, it looks like a minor repunchment mark. And it is. It has those die cracks. It has that die marker. Now, wait a minute. No, I guess it's not. No, this has all the markers for the, well, now I'm confused. Now I'm confused. This appears to have the same markers as the ones we've been passing by, but those weren't RPMs. This one has a real minor double split serif. It is an RPM, although a minor one. I don't think this one's going to be a listable one, simply because it's just too hard to see. This one appears to have all the same markers as the first coin out of the roll. Let's look for the connector and the CE. Yeah, it's there. So all of those were minor split serif RPMs, but it looks like they're going to be too minor to list. Yeah, it's just almost impossible to see. So while it is a minor repunchment mark, we're not going to be listing that one. All right, coin number 20. Ah, Christmas card for Chuck Patillo. So I will write Chuck P on here. There we go. Chuck P gets a Christmas card. There we go. Next is Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton will get the next coin. And what do we have on Paul Hampton's coin? This is a better repunchment mark right here. This one is the one with the swirlies and the southeast die scratches. So this is also going to have a doubled eyelid. And it does. there. This is the doubled eyelid slash RPM. Wow, that eyelid's really hard to see unless you turn the coin perfectly and turn your light way down. Turn the light down low. There it is. And that little S-shaped thing out in front of the face is just a fiber from the paper. No. Actually, JLB, it would probably increase the odds you'd be wasting money. Because your chances of getting a 67 grade out of a 1956 D-roll is very, very slim. Very, very slim. I don't know how many have been graded by the major services, but not very many. And submitting rolls on bulk grading at, what, $12 a coin is it's going to cost you $600 a roll. You could be 30, 40, 50 rolls in before you get one. So, yeah, I don't think so. Oh, is that DO10, Paul Hampton? Very cool. So a PCGS graded 56D and MS66 red is $15, barely above the fee price to get them bulk graded. And a 67 is going to be like a monster coin, because 67s are just really scarce. Hey, there's my knife. I was looking for that today. It slid up underneath my dyno. Now I know where it is. Ha, cool. Wow, what's this mess? What happened here? Well, it is a double split serif RPM, but I can't really say a whole lot for the condition. It has a couple of pretty nasty looking hits on it. This one's going to turn out to be the same one. Yep, it's got the it's got that die scratch above the TY, so it's also going to have the die crack running across the coat and over the VDB. There's that. Yeah, so while this is an RPM, you might want to use it as a hole filler until we get you a better one. That's the way that one works out, Coin Dragon. Sorry, buddy. Hey, but Coin Dragon just found the 68D double diaverses in a roll that he got from us, so he's got something else to be real happy about right now. Stick his RPM here into the flip. Which one was this? Is this the one that had the... It's not the double eyelid. This is the second one. Okay. So it goes with Taco John. Alright. Levels of Madness. Levels of Madness will get coin number 22 in the roll. Let's see what coin to number 22 has to offer. It is a decent double split serif. Yep, double split serif RPM. So we should have our marker above the TY. We should have our die crack running across the coat. And we have the same die yet again. Nice, nice, nice. And do we have anything particular as for errors or anything else on the reverse that we need to discuss? Question mark. Answer will be no period. Very nice. Yeah. Excuse me. My medication keeps oxygen from reaching my brain properly. Ah, we have a Christmas card. We have a Christmas card for Levels of Madness. So Levels of Madness gets the next one. Oh, let's draw another one. Ray Longy. Ray, let's see what you got. Well, this one doesn't appear to be much of anything. On the obverse, anyway. Okay, let's flip it over, take a look at the reverse. Well, my doc gave this medication to me, so hopefully it's not effectively trying to kill me. For those of you just joining and don't really know me well, I yawn a lot, and it's not because I'm tired. It's because I've got medication that basically keeps oxygen from getting properly to my brain. Steve Elliott. Steve Elliott will get this one, which is... It does have a lower split serif. Let's see if it has the upper split serif to go with it. It does not appear to have an upper split serif. We have the die scratch above the 1. That's the second die out of the roll. So that's die 2 for the day. This will not have the doubled eyelid, and it doesn't. So this is one that I was telling Taco John that I was going to look and see if it was a listable RPM. It may be, but it's going to take a little bit more study to know for sure which way I'll end up going with this. Okay. And I'll go ahead and put coin number 24, and it's flipped for Steve Elliott. And put this on pile number 2. Next one's Chuck Daughtrey. Let's see what Chuck gets out of this roll. That is a normal coin. This one's going to be not a double die and not a repunchment mark. Bankrolls is one decent way to get them, but mint sets for sure is going to be a good way if they're original. When you talk about wheat cents and mint sets, they get a little expensive though. But of course you can be looking for high grade stuff in the quarters, dimes, nickels, half dollars. And that could provide something to you. But if you're only doing Lincolns, mint sets are not as good a spot to be in, simply because they're a little harder to find for a decent price. Okay, Adam, you gonna change my luck here? And he does. He does. We have a double split serif RPM here. And this one is going to have my marker up here, my marker down here. So this is the first die in the roll again. Pretty sure it's the first die in the roll. I'm getting a little confused at this point. Is this the first one? Take a look at another one of them here. Yeah, same one. Okay. Just had to be sure, because, well, sometimes it can just be a little deceiving in your own brain when you're trying to think of too many different things at one time. The reason I have really nice bankrolls is because I pay through the teeth for them. When people hear that I'm willing to give good money for rolls, they come running to sell them. How about that for being strange, right? Joe McBride. Joe McBride will get the next coin in the roll. It's coin number 27. Let's see what we have for coin number 27. This has got the swirlies, and this has got the southeast die scratches, and this has a little minor repunchment mark, so it's going to have a doubled eyelid too, right? Yep, sure does. So we know the markers on this die well. There's our TY die scratch. That's actually a different die, but this one does have one. So this is going to be in the third pile. You never do know until you open them. That's true. You never know what condition your coins are going to be in. If you were around for the 54S roll a little bit earlier today, we got some nice gems out of that. And a couple of days ago, actually last week, we did 2 fresh bank wrapped rolls of 1962 dimes. Man, those things were excellent. We got a lot of really high grade coins out of that. So here's Joe McBride. I guess the third example of the third die for the day. Next one's going to go to PJ Curtis. PJ gets a, what is a minor split serif RPM. This one looks like it's going to be the first die, so it's going to have our TY scratch right there. It's going to have our crack across the bottom right there. And it should have our CE connector. Or is that, no, the CE connector is with the other one. Never mind, sorry. We've got our markers fulfilled. And this was for the first die of the roll again. Coin number 29. Coin number 29. Oh, Christmas gift for PJ. Congrats, PJ. I don't have a database of dime silver nitrate. I specialize in Lincoln cents. It's about the only thing I know, and it's about the only thing I do. When it comes to doing roll reveals and opening rolls, I like looking at different kinds of rolls as well. But Lincoln cents are definitely my forte. We have another split serif RPM. Another split serif RPM. This one's going to have the TY scratch right there. And it's also going to have the die crack running across the base of the coat. This is another die 1 for the day. Hello, Hawkeye. Got your package. I haven't opened it, but I have it. Okay. Nothing on the reverse necessarily. And that's for levels of madness. Take a quick look at this loop. See what I got. Oh, you can see it. That's a visible RPM. Well, our stack is getting high. If your blood circulation is above average, mine should be shooting out of my skin. Mr. Worley. Let's see what Mr. Worley gets. Is this another RPM? So that bottom serif, it actually could be. Is this the one that we... Yeah. We had decided that this wasn't going to be listable. because it's too minor. There's your circular die scratches, and you're going to have your CE connector. Haven't seen this die in a little while, but it's there. For sure it's the same one. I've always said that if copper was highly magnetic, you know, like neobidium or whatever that stuff is called, if I had a rare earth magnet made of copper, I'd be sucking up the space shuttles. Adam Chambers. Yeah, unfortunately, Jim, we haven't found one of those in this roll. I would love to find those. That would be really nice. Okay, we've got another one of these. The curved die scratches, concentric die scratches running around the RTY of Liberty. And when I flip this coin over, we're going to have a connector from the top of the C to the bottom right of the E, right there. And so this is the same die again. This is like 12 or 13 of these that we've seen in this roll. So this roll is heavily possessed with this normal issued Lincoln Cent 1956D. Let's take a look. See what comes next. Adam Chambers again. I appreciate that, Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. You make sure everybody knows about us. Here's an exciting thing. Penny Parent, can I tell him? Let me know if I can tell him. And I'll tell him. Or why don't you tell him, Penny Parent? Or maybe I'll tell him and then you can give him the details. Kind of just spinning the coin around, not really even looking at it. I'm looking for Penny Parent to say something. Okay, we have a normal coin here. Okay. We have been so loaded full with the... hang on a second here. I can't really think and look at the same time. We've been so loaded up with these roll reveals that I have decided that it would be a good idea to do more reveals and let more people in on them if Penny Parent were to help out with the process. Now, she is very good with die varieties. She's very good with attributing die varieties. She's very good at looking up die varieties. In fact, she's pretty much become my right-hand woman when it comes to dealing with different things about the Lincoln Cent and die varieties and things like that. She's going to help us out with stuff. This is a Christmas present for Adam Chambers. There we go. PJ Curtis, Adam Chambers. We've got all kinds of people involved in this now. Okay, so what we're going to do... Yeah, I do have to ask permission because I didn't know whether or not she really wanted me announcing it yet. So, here's the deal. Oh, Cent Hoarder. I think that's your first coin for this roll, and I think you got 3 of them. So, finally your name pops out of the bag. Yeah, she's going to actually be helping do roll reveals into the future. We're working on getting her set up with the right equipment to do it. We're working on getting her set up with the position to be able to handle the payments and everything else. And so what we're going to do is we're going to split the roll reviews. The roll reveals are going to be split up so that she'll be handling some of them and I will be handling some of them. And we are hoping to be able to serve people better in that. No, Mr. Dowdle, we haven't gotten anything at all out of this roll. We're trying to get to a point where we are fulfilling the demand. And right now we've got people actually complaining because they can't get into the rolls because people buy them up in the first 10 seconds that they're available. And I don't like seeing that. I mean, I do like seeing it, but I don't. You know what I mean? And Taco John gets the next one here. So I'm going to set her up with the ability to do these roll reveals so that both of us can do it. Both of us would be set up for it. And I'm getting her the proper equipment to be able to handle doing it. We've got a normal coin here. And that's my big announcement for right now. So instead of doing 3 or 4 reveals per week, we'll be able to do 6 or 8 reveals per week because I'll be handling some of them and she'll be handling some of them. And we'll be handling that workload together. Okay. Not seeing anything there. So what I want everyone here to know is that I trust Penny Parent with pretty much everything that goes on. And of course I trust all of my people with everything that goes on, but Penny Parent needs a computer and I'm going to get her the equipment if she'll help me do some work. And that's the way it works. And it's not that she couldn't have bought her own computer. It's just that I wanted to do it for her because she's helping me so much. And she's making such a difference in my life. She's making a big difference in how my business runs and how things happen. Now, the other people are making a big difference too. It's not that she's the only one making a difference. That's not my point. I'm seeing what looks like a minor split serif RPM. We have die scratches running north-south through the Y. Ah, there. It's that one. Was that the... Let me pull this out. Take a look at Taco John real quick here. Okay, not the same die. We had decided that this one was nice for that, but that little tiny split serif on the bottom is not going to be a listable one. Well, silver nitrate girl cooties aren't going to be nearly as bad as Sherman cooties. And she doesn't have Sherman to touch your coins for you. So, I think you'll be okay. Penny Parent is awesome. She's awesome every day. That's fine, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Agno 3. What do you know? Talking to you and suddenly you get a coin out of the roll. How did that happen, right? And you get a double split serif RPM out of the roll. And this one's going to have the die scratch above the TY right there. And it's going to have the crack across the coat and crack across VDB. This is going to be another example of die 1 for the day. Penny Parent is definitely mojo for this business. She is good for us. She makes a lot of things happen in the background. She helps work the auctions. She helps attribute coins. She helps me attribute your coins sometimes. She helps with a lot of different things. Brady handles inventory, grades, coins. He's going to be helping me photograph coins. Jody is helping photograph coins and he's helping add coins to the website. Amber is helping take care of the invoices and helping search coins and look through rolls. Agno 3 again. Agno 3, what do you get in this one? Just in case anybody doesn't understand the scientific notation, Agno 3, AgNO3, is silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is one of our members here. So instead of writing out silver nitrate, I just put the chemical notation for silver nitrate on his card, and it comes out looking like Agno 3. So I have decided that his nickname here is going to be Agno 3. It sounds almost like Agnes, but not quite. Okay, I'll take that into note for sure. Do you like toners too, or is it pretty much just the woodies? Because if you like really good toners, I've got some good toners too. Yeah, got nothing on this one. So, Agno 3 gets a normal coin. Putting together our Woody set right now. I don't know anybody who doesn't like toners. CCF, Coin Community Family, or Coin Community Forum. I used to be. Look at that. Agno 3 gets a Christmas card. There we go for Agno 3. Got himself a Christmas card. Next in the roll, Scent Hoarder. Scent Hoarder gets... What does Scent Hoarder get? Well, it looks like a normal coin from here. I hear my dog barking downstairs. Now, if you were watching last night and you heard the dog barking downstairs and he was just going nuts, I can tell you what that was all about. Because I learned it when I went downstairs after the broadcast. I found out what it was. Evidently, when you say the word puppy to him, he doesn't like it. He will come after you for saying puppy. So, here's the gig. Figure out where I live. You want to break into my house to steal my pennies. Don't bring windshield wipers with you, and don't say puppy. Because he doesn't like being called puppy. What are we asking here? Battling Coin Dragon for Woodies. Yeah, I know. For sure. Could you carve me a Stone Lincoln cent? Really? How big are we talking about? And what year? That's easy, 1968. Let's see who gets coin number 39. Joe McBride. Joe McBride will get coin number 39. Let's see what's on coin number 39. And we have a double split serif repunch mint mark. See, this is what I'm looking for. This is a nicer split right here. You can actually see it pretty well at this magnification. We're going to have the scratches, or the crack running across the coat. We're going to have the scratch above the TY of Liberty. There's your scratch above the TY of Liberty. And here's your crack running across the coat and above the VDB. Right there. Got a couple of little booger marks on this and the rim down there. That's what's going to be on this coin. See, and that makes me look magic. That makes me look like a wizard when I can predict the markers on the coin just by looking at one part of it. It's because I have that kind of memory where I can look at a coin and know the die, and look at another coin of the same die and know the markers. See, like this die scratch right here, I've seen it on every single one of these. I just haven't really mentioned it. I did in the beginning, but not since. I'm also pretty consistently seeing what appears to be minor hub doubling right here on the reverse. Let's see. Turn this around so that I can see the proper side. Okay. Must have been that what I was seeing was reflection of light, something to that effect, because there is nothing there Not what I thought I was seeing anyway. That's right. He just goes nuts. You say puppy and he just starts growling. And he barks with a higher pitch. That means I don't like that. Because usually when he barks with that loud, that low grumble growl. It's a gurgling bark. What was I looking at here? Did I scratch? Did I crack? Okay. Got it. But when he gets a higher pitched voice, he's actually telling you, I don't like that. Wild Bill gets the next coin in the roll. Let's see what Wild Bill gets. So this hasn't been an A+ roll, but it's been a good A- roll. I mean, at least it's not a C or an F. It's an A- roll. It's got stuff in it. It doesn't have the major stuff that we're really kind of looking for. This one's a normal coin. This one has nothing on it. We have a different die scratch above the TY. Something brownish if you can. You honestly can do a Lincoln Cent sculpture using stone. You're really good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Coop. I've known Coop since 1996. No, 97. 1997. We've known each other for pretty much 20 years. We used to hang around on the eBay chat together. Tells you how far back that goes. eBay hasn't had chat rooms in years. They gave up on that whole thing. They couldn't police it right. And he learned a whole lot of stuff from me and a few other people. Wow, Jade would be awesome. There's Paul Hampton. How big are we talking? 8 inches round? Okay. Anything brownish works. A nice little split serif, lower serif. This one is going to be the second die. You got that scratch above the 1 right there. Yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of stone that are really kind of expensive. I'm trying to think of, like, limestone I think would be a little brittle, but if that's what you generally carve into, that would work. But I'm kind of thinking of a, almost like a headstone granite. I think that would be cool. Because granite's nice and hard, and it's not that difficult to carve because it has a nice even grain in it. Is this... Well, was that your one and only? Oh, it was your one and only. That's right. It was. Well, I'm sorry, Wild Bill. You didn't get anything out of this roll except a nice Lincoln Cent. And that's what this one's going to turn out to be. Paul Hampton's going to get himself a nice, decent Lincoln Cent out of it, and that's about it. That's coin number 41. 41 in the roll goes to Paul Hampton, and it is a normal coin. Wait a minute. No, it isn't a normal coin. Hang on. What am I saying? Nope, this is the second RPM of the roll. There we go. You got yourself an RPM. Oh, brother, I mean, anything brown, that would be fine. If granite comes easier, then you can use granite, and you take all the time you need. Absolutely. And I appreciate it. And I will definitely show it off when I get it. So AGN03, Agno3, gets himself another coin here. Let's see. Looks like we've got a nothing here. This is the one with the die clash. It's got a light little die clash in it that you can see, but not very well. Big die scratch up off the T in Liberty. And so it begins. There you go. I was actually thinking at one point in time about doing a bas-relief sculpture of a Lincoln Cent. And like dual dating it or something to make it look really cool. And I never got into actually doing it. I learned from the best. Actually, Heidi Westwheat was the one who taught me how to do it. And I really need to turn my attention back to doing stuff like that because I have a few things I would like to try to do. One of those being the original design for the Lincoln Cent prior to the approval. I would like to do one of those. I would like to do one that actually has the Brenner name on it rather than the initials. And I think I have a picture of what that looked like. Hey, double split serif RPM. This one's going to have the scratch above the TY right there. And it's also going to have a die crack running all the way across the bottom. Where would be a small clash? Are you running that far behind? Midnight Silver Run? Because I don't see a clash on this coin. It must have been on the last coin. And yes, there was a clash on there. It was a soft clash. Because it was old and had been mostly polished out. There's that marker on this one. And this is going to be die 1 for the day. Die 1 for the day. Taco John gets a die 1 for the day. And he gets a die 2 for the day. So Taco John is well spread out with RPMs in this roll. Yeah, it was on the coin before. Mr. Fletcher. What do we got for Mr. Fletcher here? What do we see? Normal coin. That's what I see. Ooh, look at that die scratch. A long die scratch coming right out the front of the face. Oh? What's that? I think that's something dancing on the surface of the coin. Let me check. I don't think that's a doubled eyelid. I think that's muck on the coin. Yeah, it is. A little bit of grime on the coin right inside the eye. Not lagging, you're just slow. It's kind of like me most of the time. Wife will say something, people will laugh. And about 10-15 seconds later, I'll start laughing. She'll say, what, you just now hearing it? No, just now processing it. A lot of things going on in my head all the time. Processing is something that goes a little bit slowly at some points. I kind of put everything in line in priority order, not in chronological order. So if it takes me a while to respond to somebody when they say something, it's because I've put them at the back of the line. Not because I'm necessarily slow. All right, coin number 45 will go to Mr. Fletcher. It's probably your last one in the roll, isn't it? Well, and we have a normal coin here. Looks like. Yep, looks like a normal coin. Nothing in the way of errors that we should be discussing on this one. So we have a normal coin to Mr. Fletcher goes out. as coin number 45. Coin number 46 will go to Majestic. Majestic Sounds of Coins. Let's see what we have here. We have a little RPM. How about that? We have a double split serif RPM. This is going to be, again, an example of the first die of the day. You're going to have the die scratch up there and the die crack running across the bottom of the coat. And then above the left wheat stem, we are going to have a long die scratch running from northwest to southeast, right there. Wait. All right. Nice, nice. Majestic gets himself one of the RPMs of the roll. That's going to be die 1 for the day. Next, Robert Adams. Robert Adams will pick up. Oh, it is a minor repunchment mark. This is die number 2 on the day. It's going to have this die scratch right above the 1. Let's see what else we have on this coin to discuss, if anything. Nothing of particular importance. We do have new designs. We've got new designs, and we're going to be offering gray shirts, I do believe. Not just black, but gray as well. For those of you who live in the hot sun and don't want to be cooked in a black shirt, you'll be able to choose the other color. All right, that'll go in the stack for die 2 on the day. Die deterioration near the lips. I don't see anything. Not sure what we're looking at as far as the lips are concerned, but it looks normal to me. All right, Sin Hoarder gets the next coin. It's coin number 48 in the roll. Third from the end. That's going to be another one of the die 2 on the day. Exactly the same die as the one I just picked out. Exactly and precisely the same die again. Flip it over, take a look at the other side. For everyone's knowledge, for those of you who are here who have been purchasing roll reveals for the last couple of weeks, I have them all together. I am working on finishing up the... Oh, that was probably a shadow. Either that or it was minor... It could have been minor machine doubling. I am going to be packaging everything up. Everything will be gone by the end of the week. So, all of those of you who have been waiting for your packages and have not yet received them and have not yet received tracking for them, will get them. We'll get tracking for them by the end of the week, which is by the end of the day tomorrow. Chuck Patillo, second from the end. Chuck Patillo right here. And what do we have? Oh, it's a normal coin. It appears to be a non-variety. A non-variety coin. That's an interesting little die crack above the VDB there. Oh, this is the one with the CE connector. This is the same as the very first coin that we pulled out of this roll. The first 2 coins and 6 out of the first 10 coins. There's our CE connector right there. So we have another normal coin here. The CE connector. The death of the roll. You got a nice coin, but that's all you get. Who is the last person in the roll? You might ask. Mr. Worley. Mr. Worley will get the other roll end coin. It's got a little spots here and there. Let's see what it is. It looks like it's going to turn out to be a normal coin as well. Some different die scratches going on there than I'm used to seeing. But there's no hub doubling on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. Now this was facing inward, so this will be normal for brightness. Nice bright rag coin. But otherwise a very normal coin. And that does it. That's all we've got for this particular roll. So here are our normal coins as it stands now during the actual roll reveal. This is what I'm showing. My hands are not dirty. Look, my hands are not dirty. That's just how that camera is picking my hand up. It makes it look dirty. That's weird. So there's our normal coins out of this roll. And then for the die 1 RPM, we have, I'll count them with the names out so you can see them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 of die 1. Die 2 for the day, which was a minor RPM with a die scratch running up from the 1, up above the 1 of the date. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then die 3, the one that was probably more interesting than the other two, was a minor repunch mint mark. However, it also had a doubled eyelid. So we have an RPM DDO combo. There's 1, 2, and 3. That's what we've got. Questions, comments, concerns? Don't forget that we will be having a sale tomorrow. It's not an auction. It's going to be a sale for roll reveal positions tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be doing 10 rolls, 8 to 10 rolls. I'm not really sure. Did I get all 7 of these in there? So Christmas wishes for AG Agno 3, Adam Chambers, PJ Curtis, Levels of Madness, Chuck Patillo, Coin Dragon, and Steve Elliott. And that's to go along with the ones from the previous roll: Wild Bill, Joe McBride, Majestic, Robert Adams, J.O.B., and Mr. Stanley. Oops. Those aren't showing. Here we go. So I got 14 giveaway coins in the 1958D Christmas roll. Right there. Christmas roll. So you guys will know that you already have spots in this roll because they're being given to you for Christmas. Robert Adams, J.O.B., J. Stanley, Wild Bill, Steve Elliott, Joe McBride, 2 from Majestic, Coin Dragon, Chuck Patillo, Levels of Madness, PJ Curtis, Adam C., and Agno 3. So I'll set these off to the side. They will go in the bag with the others. And so we have 14 coins taken out of that roll already, which means we'll have 36 coins to sell tomorrow. We'll be selling the remainder of this 1958D roll tomorrow. Or maybe not. We may just give the whole roll away. Who knows? Santa Claus will be in town tomorrow, and Santa Claus will be at the sale. So it's at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central tomorrow. We will have a number of wheat rolls. We will have a number of other rolls, memorial rolls. I may even have a nickel roll or two, who knows. And then I am getting ready to ship a box of rolls to Iowa, where Penny Parent will be helping us take care of reveals into the future, but they will be in January. We're going to have a computer built and sent to her, where she will be able to get set up, get her cameras all ready to go, do a few test runs, so we can get everything together for her, make sure that she's got as good a setup as I do to get this done. I'll work on getting a couple of nickel rolls out, Stonecutter. I'll make sure I try to find a nickel roll or two. And let's see. Don't forget the $1 sale coming up on the 1st of January. 1st of January, we're going to have a huge sale. It's going to be a $1 start on every lot. Here's the details on that. Bring in your 2020 Coppercoins style huge sales event. Everything starts at $1. It'll be on the 1st of January, New Year's Day, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And we expect this sale to run between 2 and 3 hours. And it may even be longer than that, who knows? I mean, because these reveal shows have turned into 2 hours now, because we're just at 2 hours right now. But we've been putzing around a little bit, and I was a little late to the show. So we didn't get started until almost 30 after. So it was actually only an hour and a half worth of show. But we did get to be with each other for a full 2 hours. There's that to be said, right? Let's see. Robert, no. They will be shipped tomorrow. I'm going to stay up all night if that's what it takes to get everything finished tonight. And everything will be shipped tomorrow. There's just a few people that I still don't have those rolls out for, but they will go out tomorrow. I couldn't do it today. I had too many things going on today. I couldn't get it done, but they will go out tomorrow. I'm getting tired of having your rolls here. They're taking up space. Adam, yes, your box too. Your box too. And I will get you a tracking number for that. As soon as I get that tracking number, I'll send it to you. And let's see, we've got Steve Elliott's box being returned to me, and I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but what I can tell you is that it was not at the post office when I got there. You're going to have a Coppercoins party at your house? That's awesome. Grab all your friends, get them all to register. Now, you make sure that if you bring anybody in to bid during the January 1st sale, try to get them registered ahead of time. It just makes things a lot easier if they send us an email prior to the event. Coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. We need their YouTube name, their real name, and their PayPal email address so that we can be sure that we can send a bill to them as soon as the auction is over. And we cannot allow people who have not registered, we cannot allow them to bid. We've had a couple of different instances where people say that, oh, I'm getting ready to go register, but I want to bid on this item. Sorry, you're going to have to register prior to bidding. That's going to have to be a rule that we're going to have to go by. And, wow, other than that, I guess I got nothing else to add for this evening. We got a number of coin rolls to go back through again. So I'll get that done. And I'll get all this shipped out tomorrow. What takes 10 seconds? Oh, the registration. That's correct. That's correct, it does. Stonekiller, you have a good night, sir. No, Paul. We will not have reveals at the same time. We're going to be working in conjunction with each other. It's kind of like she's going to take over half of that job. And we're going to keep the same work that we've already got going on, but she's going to take over half of the reveal job too. So we're going to have almost double the reveals scheduled. But they're all going to be scheduled on the Coppercoins channel. She's just going to be one of the hosts of the original roll reveal. Coppercoins, coin roll hunting with Coppercoins. Right. We've got no, there's no credit checks or any of that kind of stuff. JOB, no 40s rolls. Don't think so. Don't have any 40s rolls to go through right now. I do have some from the early 50s. There will be 1950D rolls. But nothing from the 40s. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and shut down because shutting down now allows you guys to at least catch the last hour or so of the Q&A. I think I'll go over there and I'll say hi. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. I get it, Paul. No problem, man. I totally get it. Will I buy out the fun show? I'll try. Every bit of it. Sissy did get her package, and it is heavy. What did you expect? Expect a pillow? All right, folks, you be well. I'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a good night.